Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the new Venture Brothers 3 3/4 inch Brock Samson figure from BifBangPow. That's right, BifBangPow is mostly known for their Mego-styled retro action figures. But with this new Venture Brothers line, they are moving into actual plastic action figures. And kicking off the line is Brock Samson. So Brock comes on this really cool blister card style packaging that's got some fantastic artwork behind him of Venture Industries. The back of that packaging features some really cool artwork of the Venture Brothers themselves. I dare you to make less sense! Alright, so let's take a look at this guy outside of the packaging. Now this line is billed as a 3 3/4 inch line, but it is worth noting that Brock here stands at 5 inches tall. If you pose him alongside some of the other well-known 3 3/4 inch action figures, you can see that he towers over them. So he's a little bit bigger than I was expecting him to be. Now the overall sculpt of the figure is pretty good. He does a great job of representing the character as he appears in the animated series. He's sporting his famous plain black t-shirt and light blue skin-tight jeans. And you can see that his upper body is much bigger and beefier than his skinny legs. But again, that is perfectly capturing the look of the character outside of the animated series. I was a little worried about this figure being top-heavy because he's so much bigger on the upper half, but I will say that they did a pretty good job of balancing him, and he doesn't really have any issues toppling over or anything like that. Still, I do feel that an included figure stand would have been a nice addition to this figure because I'm sure there will be instances where this guy will topple over because his upper body is so much bigger than his skinny legs. Looking at the face sculpt, it's overall pretty good, and you can see his eyes are looking slightly to the left, but I will note that the paint job on the eyes is slightly sloppy on mine, so it could definitely be a little bit better. But he is sporting that sweet, sweet mullet. The articulation on this guy is very basic. His head turns just left and right. His arms have the standard cuts of the shoulders allowing for up and down movement, and then he has a standard elbow joint. He swivels at the waist, his legs move forward and backward only, and then he has a standard single cut at the knee. So that is all the articulation we get. It's very basic, very reminiscent of some of the older style action figures, and overall the whole build of this guy very much reminds me of Mattel's Justice League Unlimited line. So it's the whole larger upper body, the skinny lower body, the lackluster articulation. It's very reminiscent of the JLU line. So if you're a collector of that, this figure here might be right up your alley. Now Brock only includes one single accessory, which is his knife. You can see he's got a holster that is attached to his belt, and the knife can fit in there. And you can also fit it in either one of his hands for some pretty cool poses with it. Now the knife is made of a very gummy, soft plastic. You can see it's very pliable there, but it is painted rather nice. It's got a different color blade than a handle, which is always nice. And he does look really cool holding it there. So there you go, guys. There is a look at the new Brock Samson action figure from BifBangPow. Overall, I'd say they did a pretty good job with this. The sculpt and likeness are good. The paint is mostly good, except for some of the sloppiness on his face. And I know that the articulation is limited, but it does seem to work well for this figure. And as I said earlier, fans of figure lines like JLU and stuff like that will probably eat this up. And if you're a fan of Venture Brothers, I can see you very happy with this particular action figure. So, if you're looking to pick up Brock Samson to add him to your collection, you can head on over to www.fantasticplastictoys.com. Until next time...